quality title race of all time, but coming out on top again in the Premier League, Manchester City.
I've been quite reluctant to make videos when Chelsea have lost against teams they shouldn't be losing against this season. Been a lot of games where I looked at it and said, well, I could make a video having an old rant about that, but what's the point? What good is it going to do? It's only going to bring more negativity on the subject. The only real rants you could say I've had so far this season has been after the Everton game, and I guess after the first game against Man United, that was more disappointment than anger. It's like when you come home and you're after doing something fucking stupid at school or something and your parents are like, you know what, I'm not angry, Jimmy, I'm just disappointed. But there's been lots of games where I haven't made videos on. Obviously there was the Southampton game. But yeah, there's been a few of them games. Bournemouth, another one as well. There's been a lot of them kind of games where I've just said, you know what, what's the point? This time I'm afraid I can't hold back, I can't. I can't contain myself. There's no way I can just let this game slide without making a video on it, because it was without a doubt shambolic. And it's probably a follow-on from the weekend. Another game that I didn't make a video on was the Newcastle game, in which we lost 1-0 after Isaac Hayden scored a 94th minute winner for Newcastle. And they're becoming quite fond of that. Lejeune scored twice last night in added time, so they could draw with Everton, but that's beside the point. Chelsea showed little to no drive in that game. Didn't really look like we wanted to score. Couldn't really be arsed, is another way of saying it. And overall, just a shitty performance. And last night was a chance to redeem ourselves, get back to winning ways, and particularly after the way the game started against Arsenal, you know, I would have said, yeah, this is a big chance for us to push on. We had lots of the ball when Arsenal had 11 men. And then Mustafi's back pass was missed by Leno. Terrible back pass. Tammy Abraham got in. David Luiz fouled him. Penalty to Chelsea. And to make things a little bit sweeter, a red card for David Luiz on his return to Stamford Bridge as well. But Jorginho stuck away the penalty, as he so often does. And from that moment on, I was like, right, now, do what you didn't do against Newcastle when you are clearly on top and clearly in the ascendancy. Push on and win the game. That's what most teams would try to do, isn't it? Half time 1-0. There was not many chances after we went 1-0 up. It was we just kind of laboured our way through the first half, and luckily went in 1-0 at half time. But Arsenal had 0 shots of any sort in the first half. It was looking positive-ish, but I was like, right, we need to kick on in this second half. We need to. There's no two ways about it. We need to kick on. We need to get that second goal. Because if we don't, the last 10-15 minutes, Arsenal will come out of their shell and will push out. Because after they went down to 10 especially, it was everyone behind the ball. I'm talking Lacazette, Ozil, Pepe, Martinelli. They were all sitting behind the ball after they went 1-0 down and after David Luiz was sent off. To be fair, I can't even blame Luiz for the red card. It was just shocking from Mustafi, and I can't even blame him for it. He kind of had to make it. If he didn't make it, Tammy Abraham would have rolled into an empty net anyway. So, I mean, there was less of a chance of Chelsea scoring if he was to take him out and take the red card. But it was shocking from Mustafi. Second half, what changed? What actually changed? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Chelsea were just labouring it, passing it sideways, passing it backwards. No pace in our passing. Just kind of seeing the game out. You're playing against Arsenal. You're in the ascendancy. Do you remember when we played Arsenal in March of 2014? Do you remember what happened? Arsenal lost a man. Chelsea were actually already 2-0 up at that point. But Arsenal lost a man. Eden Hazard converted the penalty. What did we do after that? We pushed on. We fucking beat them 6-0. Why didn't we do that last night? Why are we just so happy to sit back and say, we have our goal, let's just protect it? Do you know why? Because you have incompetent defenders like Antonio Rudiger, Andres Christensen and Emerson. Why are you relying on that defence? The Arsenal equaliser then came from a Chelsea corner. Yep, a Chelsea corner is where the Arsenal equaliser came from. Cleared by Mustafi at the near post. Martinelli gets it, runs past 2 Chelsea players, takes a heavy touch, should be N'Golo Kante's, he slips, and Martinelli runs straight through and finishes past Kepa. I will say this from Martinelli, unbelievable composure, and what a player he's looking to be. 10 goals so far, he's only 18 years of age, and that was great composure from the young man. Very much helped out by some, let's be honest, schoolboy defending from Chelsea. All the same, it was still very, very good for Martinelli. So, and throughout the whole game, he was the attacking outlet. Like Pepe, Ozil, Lacazette, they weren't offering Arsenal anything going forward. The man that was offering Arsenal anything going forward when they did get it was Gabriel Martinelli. So I will say he was phenomenal last night. And whenever I've seen him play, he has been unbelievable and has to be knocking on Mikel Arteta's door for a starting spot now. He has to be, surely. The players were very bad, but I'm going to say a quick word about Frank Lampard, right? I love Frank Lampard, I just do. And I find it hard to say anything negative about him, and you'll notice that so far this season I've said very little negative about him. There's been a few occasions that I've said changes here and there, or tactical decisions here and there haven't been great, and he's shown his lack of experience as a manager. But to bring off Mateo Kovacic with 65 minutes gone, he didn't play against Newcastle the weekend. Like, why are you taking him off for Ross Barkley? Like, come on, man. Like, it's actually, like, we could all see it. Like, why? The only player who was offering us anything, really, any sort of injection of pace into our play, was Mateo Kovacic. So why'd you take him off? Like, I don't understand it, man. Like, I really don't. Frank, I love you, like, I really do, but some of them decisions, and I understand Frank is still learning, like, he needs time. It's only he's only 6 months in the job, if even that, and it's only his second managerial job. He managed for one other season, last season with Derby County. He's learning his trade, but oh my god, that's a pretty big error to take off Mateo Kovacic. At that point, if you really have to bring on Ross Barkley, which I don't really see why you do, I would have absolutely brought on Mason Mount. We'll get onto Mason Mount in a bit, but like, if you absolutely have to bring on Ross Barkley, take off N'Golo Kante, because once again he struggled all around the park. He made his mistake, but that wasn't the only thing. He was just overly just frustrating, giving the ball away, poor touches here and there, and not the defensive rock of a midfielder that we once knew. So I would have taken off Kante if you absolutely have to bring on Ross Barkley. But then it looked like Chelsea had won it in the last 10 minutes when Cesar Azpilicueta tapped in a cross from the left hand side. I was afraid at first that it might be offside. But did Chelsea defend the lead? $1 million question. Did Chelsea defend the lead? Woo! No, we didn't. Hector Bellerin made it 2-2 with only 2 or 3 minutes left on the clock, and that's how it finished. But there was some absolute bullshittery going on in the build-up to that Bellerin goal. Tammy Abraham was injured. Obviously Arsenal aren't going to put it out, and I wouldn't expect them to. If an Arsenal player was injured, I wouldn't expect Chelsea to put it out. So they're well within their right. It wasn't a head injury. They're well within their right to play on. So I'm not dissing Arsenal at all. So I wouldn't have put it out if I was an Arsenal player. However, Chelsea won the ball back and still didn't put it out for their injured striker. And I will say this: Stuart Atwell, the referee last night, he stopped the play in the first half when Mustafi got a fucking ball to his testicles. Yep, the referee stopped it when Mustafi got a ball in the testicles. I mean, wow, wow. I haven't done any research on the rulebook or anything like that, but the last time I checked, the referee only stops a play for an injury when it's a fucking head injury. Those are not your fucking head. And then Lucas Torreira in the second half, perhaps even worse, goes down with cramp. Cramp! And Atwell stops the game. Like, I don't understand. So Tammy Abraham goes down with an ankle injury, went over on his ankle, and he went over the fucking skirting board. That's skirting boards, what am I on about? Advertising boards. And Stuart Atwell decides that that's fine. Now, obviously, letter of the law, the ball should not, the play should not be stopped if Tammy Abraham has an injury. But based on, wanting a bit of consistency here, Arsenal had 2 non-head injuries stopped by the referee in the game. That's all I'm saying. But that's all binned off, because Chelsea had the ball and still didn't put it out of play. And guess what? Arsenal scored from that attack. It's just, they're fucking brain dead sometimes, do you know that? They really are. I will say this though, what a brilliant finish from Hector Bellerin, and he was probably one of Arsenal's better performers last night. I thought him, Martinelli and Xhaka were probably Arsenal's best three players, and considering they had Nicola Pepe, Mesut Ozil, Alexandre Lacazette all on the pitch, that's a big compliment to them three players that have named out. But overall, Arsenal showed great fight, great determination. They were missing Aubameyang through suspension. They obviously didn't have that firepower. And for a lot of the game they were defending. They had 2 shots on target, but guess what? They only fucking needed 2. Chelsea had about 15 shots in the whole game. Majority, not even that great of chances, because our passing was so slow and so, like, there was just no fucking tempo to us last night, and because of that, Arsenal found us very easy to defend against. And you know what? Arsenal are finding you very easy to defend against. You're doing fucking bad. Also, this Chelsea fan base needs to cop the fuck on, right? Get your expectations straight, because I see people calling for Lampard to be sacked, alright? Get your head out the fucking sand. But what were we looking at start of the season? I predicted Chelsea to finish anywhere from 10th to 6th, because transfer ban, new manager who has fuck all experience, Eden Hazard gone. I'm sure a lot of you lot thought that Chelsea were going to do shit this season. We're 4th, right? Yes, Frank Lampard has lost twice the amount of games Maurizio Sarri lost, but guess what? Sarri has 20, 30 plus more years experience than Frank Lampard, so cut the guy a little bit of slack. Yes, he made some fucking questionable decisions last night, and he's made a couple of questionable decisions this season as a whole, but let's be honest, we did say at the start of the season, Chelsea fans, that this season is a season of experimentation, and we can't really judge Frank off this season because he's only going to have one transfer window, and at that he doesn't even look like he's going to sign anyone in this transfer window, so it's still not his team. It's a combination of a lot of other managers' teams put together. Also, I mentioned Mason Mount. I'm going to bring up that point now. Chelsea fans, with Mason Mount, you need to cop on. You need to cop on. You need to leave the fucking lad alone. He's getting so much abuse online. When he came on the pitch last night, he got booed by his own fucking fans. Like, sometimes I genuinely feel sick to be part of this fucking fan base. How, like, Mason Mount's been one of our best players this season, and yeah, he's had a few poor games, but let's be honest, lads, he's not the problem. He's not the problem. It's incompetent defending and lack of leadership in our squad. That's the problem. We look at Liverpool. Yeah, they're so far. They're nearly 20 points clear of Manchester City. They're so far ahead of everyone else. Why do you think that is? Because they have so many leaders. They've got Jordan Henderson, they got Virgil van Dijk, like, you know, Alisson. If Henderson's injured, they have 3 or 4 other leaders in that team. Chelsea are pretty much a team of young lads, and realistically, what leaders do we have? I would say the only real leader we have is Jorginho. Yes, Cesar Azpilicueta is the fucking captain. Is he a leader? Absolutely not. These players, these young lads need a bit of fucking guidance. But the last thing they need is absolute Keats on Twitter just fucking abusing them. Like, I'm sure, yes, Dave 43 from fucking South East London would be well able to fucking bang in a fucking 40-yard free kick. I'd say he could, but is he doing it? No, he's absolutely not. And I know I'm going off on a bit of a rant here, but let's leave Mason Mount alone. Just leave him fucking alone, because the abuse I've seen him get the last couple of days has genuinely made me sick. It's absolutely horrible. So just fucking cop on, yeah? Next few games are huge for our season now. I think Man United, Leicester, Tottenham, they're all coming up. And then in between that, we got a fucking double header against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. So by the end of January or by the end of February, we'll really have a good feel about whereabouts Chelsea are going to finish this season. But performance wasn't good last night. Performance needs to fucking buck up, and if anything, the last couple of games has just kind of showed Frank Lampard that he needs to go out into the transfer market and invest, because I mean, this squad just simply isn't good enough, and there's some people that just need to take a good long hard look at themselves and say, I'm just not cut out for this anymore. But I'm sure a lot of Frank's buy-in will happen in the summer, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, rant over. Hope you did enjoy. Please do leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, and good luck.
Ball hard like a Lando magic, pull out the tin, call me go gadget. It's A-double-Z-A, but my name's not Aaron Rude, but I never savvy like Hatchet. Talking like you're off and you moving, but we know that you ain't stacking. Ain't trapping, don't know why these men are talking rough and I got no backing. Alright, let me jump back in, let me chat it, but I can't back it. Then I wanna try and figure around on the mic there, man, I get scared, but I'm at it. Full time in a black toe jacket, touch the mic and I smack it, they can't hack it. Hate job and I hate that storm and I can't ever attack it.